Sox have rallied to tie it here in the 8th and threaten to take the lead. In the air to right field. Zobrist goes back at the track. And that ball is gone. Ryan Zimmerman, a 3-run homer.
Well, that one sure changed quickly. The Nationals get the job done late. Get 5 in the 8th off the Cubs bullpen. And with just 6 hits on the night, they score 6 runs, beat the Cubs 6-3 to even this best-of-5 series at a game apiece. And welcome into Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He's David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan. We're sitting back there. John Lester was really, really good tonight. And then C.J. Edwards comes in after a good inning out of Pedro Strop. And I still don't understand, and I said this to you before the at-bat, why you're letting him face Bryce Harper when you have lefties in the pen that are on the roster to face Harper and Murphy. And Harper turned the series around.
Yes, but that's what you want C.J. Edwards. He's a guy that strikes guys out, misses bats. Montgomery's not a strikeout guy. He's a contact guy, keeps balls on the ground. You needed a strikeout in that situation. That's why he put Edwards in there and kept him in the game.
And Edwards hung a breaking ball. And you see, he's got him 3-1, so he wants to throw a strike, and that ball hung, and that ball was murdered. I mean, murdered.
He did not miss that one piece of that ball. Every piece was hit, and that ball was out of the park in a hurry.
Yeah, he knew it as soon as it left his bat. Little bat flip, and that ball was crushed. And all of a sudden, we are tied 3-3, and then the bullpen gives up 3 more.
Yeah.
And that ends up costing the Cubs what would have been a tremendous road win.
Yeah, it was huge. It was set up right there, 2-0 lead coming back home. But the Nats, they got that one spark. That home run sparked their offense, and they got a couple hits. And you weren't seeing, they were confident in that 8th inning. That spark got them going, and now it's a different series.
Yeah.
Now they have confidence going to Wrigley Field.
And they think they're going to have Max Scherzer on Monday. Yeah. So, again, a big, tough test ahead, but we'll talk about tonight's game. Time for our Gerber Collision and Glass play of the game. And it's the Zimmerman homer because it's still a 3-3 ball game. There's one out. Mike Montgomery throws one that gets all of the plate.
Yeah, that's a changeup right down the middle, up in the zone too. And with that wind blowing out, usually on a regular day, that's caught by Ben at the wall. But that wind that helped Contreras' home run at the first was still blowing out late in the game and pushed it over the wall.
Yeah, this ball doesn't get out by a lot, but it gets out by enough. And that's a 3-run bomb, and that is the game-winning home run. But you're right. That's a huge home run, obviously. But the Bryce Harper home run was the spark that lit their forest fire.
Yeah, they knew that now, hey, we can actually win this game now. They had that confidence. You can see there at bats. They started squaring things up, and Mike Montgomery left a mistake over. They weren't capitalizing on mistakes all game because the pitchers were really spotting up. The Cubs pitchers were putting it where they wanted to. But in that 8th inning, once they tied it up, they're like, we can do damage, started attacking, and they did it.
Just remember that the game-tying home run was a righty against the lefty. The game-winning home run was a lefty against the righty.
Yep.
You've got situational guys set up, and you didn't use them. So we have our Miller Lite fan poll. Go to NBCSportsChicago.com/vote and cast your ballot. Our question is this. How do you feel after the first 2 games of the series? Fine, got a split in D.C., or disappointed, we should be up to zip. Again, NBCSportsChicago.com and the /vote. Let's take a look at the early highlights from this one because the Cubs got on the board after the Rendon home run. It was really nothing for the Nationals till the 8th inning. There's the home run from Rendon going the other way. It's the first home run he's hit to that side of the ballpark all season long. But he gets it up, he gets it out, a line drive off of John Lester, and it's a 1-0 game.
Yeah, Lester wanted it, up it in, it leaked over the plate, and that's a good job of hitting right there. You just got to tip your cap. This guy is one of the top hitters in the game. Hey, he drove it out the other way. All right, 1-0 lead, nothing too much. As a Cubs fan, as a Cubs player, they were like, okay, we're still in it.
All right, so they get a 1-0 lead, but come right back in the 2nd inning, and Wilson Contreras with one swing. Up and out, and he thinks he got it, and he's right. Launch angle, 45 degrees, ball's out, That's the highest launch angle in the StatCast era of 3 years by any player that wore a Cub uniform.
He got
Even you.
I was not doing that, but he got under it and got that perfect hand release right there, and that wind was blowing out like I talked about earlier. It had I think it was 8 or 9 mile an hour breeze blowing out to left. He got it into jet stream and it shot out.
So now it's a 3-1 ball game, and it stays that way for a long time because Anthony Rizzo gives the Cubs that 3-1 lead.
This is just hanging curveball. You know, Gio Gonzalez's curveball was sharper earlier in the game. The second time around, it was just a little softer break to it. Didn't have that downward depth, and Rizzo just beat the ball. His barrel beat the ball, and was able to get it just far enough. And what a play by that guy right there.
Yeah, there's the new Nacho Man right out there. One-handed catch. People were coming out taking pictures with him, but he made a really nice play. They reviewed it. The home run stands. 3-1 Cubs. Rizzo Home Run Company running full steam in the postseason. Look at Cubs' record, 6 postseason home runs now for Anthony Rizzo. And he's taken 4 of them off of lefties. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and this is Clayton Kershaw. Kevin Segrist there, that guy was a hard-throwing left-hander, and he was at the prime of his career right there, throwing hard, spotting that slider. So those are big names to be hitting homers off of.
Big names. So gives you the opportunity to win a baseball game. It's 3-1. Lester goes 6 solid innings, and then Stroop goes the 7th, and in the 8th, with 1 on and 1 out, Bryce Harper has just tied the game, and that ball is absolutely murdered.
I mean, that's just a hanger. That's what it was. You know, he struck out someone earlier in the inning off a nice, hard-breaking, downward-biting curveball. But
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner. But this one started up and stayed up, and you know, that was a perfect swing by him.
And then Mike Montgomery comes in, and the lefty against the righty, he gets it up, and he gets it out. 3-run homer, ball game over.
The reason why I think he left him in the game was Mike Montgomery's a ground ball pitcher. You know, we can throw a changeup down the way, you can get a double play, 3-3, you're going into the 9th. But he left it up, he hits it out of the park. So I think that's what Joe Maddon's thinking was going into that situation of leaving Mike Montgomery in the game.
Yeah, but that ball, when you watch that pitch, and we'll show it again, that ball just runs right back over the plate. And, I mean, it is right here saying, hit me.
Exactly.
And he just turned and burned.
He's done all season long.
That's it. John Lester ran into trouble in the 5th inning. Zimmerman single. He steals 2nd. He goes to 3rd on a wild pitch. Taylor walks. Kendrick walks. And now you have got real troubles because the bases are loaded and Nationals Park is alive. They are fired up.
Yes, this is John Lester in that 5th inning just lost his command of his fastball. He was just, you can see on the stat pitches, they're just down in the dirt, out and away. So he was losing it a little bit. And the thing about, it's all about making pitches in the postseason. He had Trey Turner come up here soon, and he made a pitch to a young hitter that an older veteran would have taken. But that was 93, sinking away, and Trey Turner's 0 for 2 at that point, hasn't struck out twice, and he wanted to do something. He tried to do too much. Lester fed off of that and just put it off the corner, and that was a big strikeout in that situation.
All right, Joe Maddon's at the podium. Let's take a listen in back in D.C.
I hate going first.
We'll take our first question for Joe.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Good.
Joe, can you just talk about the matchup with C.J. Edwards and what you were looking at and what your options were at that point?
That was the only option. That was the right option. C.J. was the right man for the job. He hung a curveball. The guy didn't miss it. Harper's good. C.J. is really good. C.J. Numbers against left-handed hitters are among the best in all of baseball. To say that I did not say anything in a derogatory manner towards CJ would say I don't have confidence in him. I have all the confidence in the world in him. If that happens again, you're going to see CJ back out there. He made a bad pitch, and the guy didn't miss it. And that's it. Sometimes that happens. Bryce is good. CJ is good. Bryce got him.
Next question for Joe.
Yes, sir.
Joe, you held them to 2 hits last night. It's 2 hits up until late in this game. The way they've scored runs all year, I know it's kind of hard to figure you're going to continue to do that, but just one of those innings that you...
Yeah, give them credit. I mean, listen, first of all, the pitch to Lynn was a good pitch that he just kept fair, and then he strikes out Turner on a good curveball. And, you know, this is one of those things that's called baseball. He's not trying to throw an elevated curveball right there. He just did. If he throws that ball where he wanted to, we're in pretty good shape. Listen, CJ is that good. He's all of that. Over the next several years, he's going to establish himself as one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball. He'll be right back out there. He's wonderful. It just did not work out tonight.
Next question for Joe.
Ground ball. If you look at the percentages right there, it's really heavy in our favor, ball on the ground. I think the fact that Mikey's not pitched in a bit, that it just hung a changeup. He got the changeup up. But Mikey's such a heavy ground ball guy, righties or lefties, so for me, it was a perfect situation for him to put the ball on the ground, but it just did not happen.
Joe, you obviously let this one get away, but you go home 1-1, back for 2 in your place. Can you just describe that feeling?
Yeah, there's an upside and a downside. Of course, you like to be going home 2-0. We played so well for 2 days. I cannot be happier than I am with our group right now. The way we've approached the day, the effort, the game, the execution, everything's been wonderful, really good. So they hit a couple home runs in the 8th inning, and I'm not going to lose sight of the fact that, yeah, I mean, it's one of those, the proverbial comment that you'd be happy leaving 1-1 before the series began. But you'd really like to be leaving 2-0 leading in the 8th inning. However, that's not reality. Reality is we lost the game. They beat us. We go home at 1-1, and we have Quintana and then Jay coming up. Not bad. Really interesting series, well played on both sides, and I cannot be happier than I am with our guys right now.
Okay, to the left.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Joe. How do you feel about Zobrist as part of the finishing outfield? Looked like he either misjudged or mistimed the home run. Didn't have quite of a.
Well, there was you knew that if they got to that point, it was going to be a left-handed pitcher. So for me, I wanted to keep him in the game. It was between him and Happ when we put Jason in there, Hayward, and chose to go that way. You think it's going to be a lefty, and it ended up being a lefty, so you have the switch hitter still in the lineup. I don't think he did badly in the outfield. I mean, there's nothing he could have done on the home run, and he actually, pardon me? Oh, he moves his feet really well. Technically he's very good, so he didn't do anything wrong.
Any other questions for Joe?
Yes, sir. Real good. Johnny was really good. I thought that inning that he had to fight through the bases loaded situation probably took the 7th inning out of him. But he was really good. He was very, very good. And plus we had to end up pinch hitting there anyway. Fastball command was outstanding. He was very frugal with his pitches overall. Primarily pitched with his fastball too. So I thought he was outstanding.
Joe, you talked a lot about experience this series. How do you make sure this experience with CJ tonight doesn't stick in his head the next time he's in this situation?
With CJ? Yeah, I just got to keep, like I was talking beforehand, just talk to the guy. I talk to him on the bench all the time when he comes out of games, both good and bad. And listen, he's a young man. His stuff is dynamic. It's not good, it's dynamic. He hung a curveball. It happens in this game, and a very good hitter didn't miss it. That's what I really have to make sure that he understands, that message, that in that situation, he knows he wants to put it in the dirt. He knows he wanted it to play with, and he didn't. So maybe just slow yourself down a little bit more, really focus on what you want to do here. But listen, man, I don't want to change. I want him to change anything about himself. This kid he's wonderful. He's a big part of our present and our future. And I'm telling you, the next couple of years, heads up, he's going to be one of the best in all of baseball.
Okay. Thank you for the time, Joe. Appreciate it.
You got it.
All right, that was our Xfinity post-game press conference. Look, I know there are people watching at home, and they're like, God, we had that, gave it away. But I understand where he's coming from, that C.J. Edwards is the real deal. And he hung a ball tonight to a great player, and Bryce Harper made him pay.
You got to trust your players. He's one of the reasons that you're here in this situation. You always want to go from your starter to CJ to Wade Davis. In a perfect world, that's how you want to do it. And they had the opportunity to get ahead there, but it was 3-1. That's why. He was 3-1 to Bryce Harper. Didn't want to throw the fastball, had to throw the curveball, but he wanted to get a strike curveball. That's not his thing. His curveball is look like a strike, get out of the zone quickly. So that was the problem.
Yeah, he spun it up there and it hung, and Harper didn't miss it. That's why he's Bryce Harper, and that's why he's going to get paid.
He's going to get $400 million.
Yeah, he's going to get $350, $400 million for a reason. You know, this is not some stiff.
No, it's not.
All right,
outfielder.
Dusty Baker now is meeting the media. Take a listen.
Dusty, they held you to 2 hits last night, 2 hits up until the 8th night, and then all of a sudden a 5-run inning. How much did you guys need that? And, you know, this offense has done this a lot this year.
Yeah, well, we needed it a lot. And, you know, I was kind of bewildered because there's not too many teams or pitchers that have held us in check like that, for a couple days. And I just knew in the bottom of my heart that we were going to explode for some crooked numbers, you know, which we've done all year. And, boy, the guys had some quality at bats. You know, Anthony got on, Murph, and well, before that even, you know, we knew Harp was due. And he's known for the big moment. And, man, he blasted that ball a ton. You know, he hung a breaking ball, and that's what you're supposed to do with it. And, you know, we played good defense. Boy, it was a good game to watch. It was good game to manage, and especially the fact that we came out on top and tied the series 1-1 now.
How much did one big inning like that carry over into Game 3 possibly, especially if you've been struggling, you know, at first ball?
Well, you know, it's a daily game, but this is a game of momentum. You know, we're off tomorrow. You know, we take a rest tonight, and then you know, go back at them on Monday, and we got Surge going, which we feel very confident about, and Tanner Roark. So, yeah, we feel very confident about after tonight's game.
Dusty, you just mentioned the momentum. How much can just...
All right, so there was a little bit of Dusty Baker, and he talked about Max and Tanner Roark. You know, Max is dealing with a hamstring deal that Jake Arrieta spoke about before the game, saying, look, I haven't seen his MRIs. I'm just telling you, it's not as easy to come back from the hamstring when it's your push leg, and that's what he's dealing with.
Yes, that's a tough thing. That's your strength. You want to have a solid base there, and when you feel anything on there, it affects your pitches, affects your delivery, affects your timing with your legs. So we're gonna have to wait and see. You know, Monday it can't come too quick, because I'm excited to see this matchup, because Max Scherzer at his best is one of the most dominating pitchers in the game. But is he going to be at his best? So that's going to be fun to watch and see if the offense can just play good baseball. They're playing really good baseball right now. The Cubs they had that game wrapped up until the 8th inning, but that offense got that spark, and that's how quick that offense strikes. But the Cubs have played really good baseball this pretty much for 2 straight baseball games.
All right, we'll see. It's time to go inside the clubhouse, presented by James & Sons Fine Jewelers. And here he is. Here's Carl Edwards Jr. Take a listen.
The right option. How good is that for you to hear his support and confidence in you? So.
I mean, I feel like, you know, it's always good to hear that. Like I said, it was just the wrong pitch, right pitch, wrong. And I mean, I just hung it. And, I mean, at that time, I mean, I couldn't really do nothing once it left my hand. I couldn't really do nothing with it.
Did you know as soon as you left it? As soon as you left your hand?
Yeah, as soon as I left it, I had an idea that it wasn't going down no time soon until it landed.
You could tell by looking at his at-bat against John earlier that he was kind of getting close. I mean, he's been out for a while. That's a great hitter there. I mean, you kind of tip your hat even though you think he didn't make this good enough pitch, right? I mean, it's Bryce Harper out there.
I mean, it's Bryce Harper. He can hit, so. But I don't feel like it was his time. I mean, you make the wrong pitch I could have made that wrong pitch to anybody. And it'd been probably the same thing.
Carl, that's probably your best pitch if you look at the numbers. How many times did you think you've hung it this year?
Probably a good bit.
Got away with it.
And got away with it a few times.
And the first, was that from the first?
Yeah, the first pitch. Yeah. That's the pitch I wanted to throw the last time.
You guys know how dangerous their lineup is. Any surprise that they were able to come back this way and kind of grab a little momentum here?
No. I mean, we're both in the playoffs right now, so I mean, it's, you know, for us personally, yeah, it hurt us. You know, it hurts, but you know, we have still have 3 chances. You know, we still have 2 chances to finish this thing off, and hope we can do it in Wrigley.
How much do you want the ball?
I wish I could have it tomorrow if we played, but I want it right back. Same situation.
Just for clarification, what kind of pitch were you trying to throw?
I was just trying to put the curveball in the dirt.
How much do you guys have to look at the silver lining that you did steal one here and you're going back still in a good position? You got to find positives.
Oh yeah. The positive about it is we're going back 1-1, not 0-2 or something. So like I said, I mean, we got Monday coming, and we'll see how that goes. And I feel like we have enough firepower ourselves to walk away with this one.
Just the way you've handled it and the pressure that your team has been through and won it all, obviously gives you guys a real good feeling about just another game. We move on.
Yes, you're right. It's another game. And the crazy thing is, it's going to be, I'm going to have so many more opportunities to get to you guys in the next 3-4 days. And I know it'll be a different outcome. And I just know I still have the confidence. And,
All right, there you go. There's C.J. Edwards. And I like seeing a young guy who, they got him tonight. Yeah. Stand up there and answer the questions and say, hey, I wish I could go out there tomorrow and give me the baseball. I'm ready to go.
It's a tough situation. You don't want to answer those questions. And
nobody does.
You're just getting asked, hey, what happened? You're like, you saw it. But that's a pro right there. Hey, you got to step up. I made a mistake. That's Bryce Harper. He did his job. I want to get back out there. He has confidence in himself to know that the next time out there, he's going to go out there and throw better pitches, throw sharper pitches. So that's how you do it.
He needed the pitch that he threw to Trey Turner at the strikeout, and that's what he was trying to throw. Instead, a little too much loft. Yep. Hangs right there, and he kills it. All right, let's hear from Mike Montgomery, who gave up that 3-run home run to Ryan Zimmerman.
I'm just going to, move on and get ready for Monday.
You guys have been down before this season, but was there a sense of being stunned over this because we had been in control, for 2 games in 7+ innings?
Yeah, we had them where we wanted them, and we couldn't get the job done late in the game. So, I don't really look at it more than that. They're a good offense, so we got to do a better job, late in the game of just executing our pitches, and really that's about it.
Yesterday in here after you guys won, everybody was just kind of like business as usual. Nobody, high-fiving or anything. I guess it's the same attitude today as you guys know how to win, you guys know how to lose as well.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. You got to know how to lose. You can't let one loss, affect the rest of the series. I think we're definitely good at that. So, we're frustrated, obviously, but you got to, brush it off, and we got to get back out there, on Monday and play, good baseball like we've been playing.
Did you think Zimmerman got all of that?
I knew the ball was carrying well to that side of the field. I didn't think he did. I saw Zobrist kept going back. I don't know how much it cleared by, but it was gone. So it's frustrating, but it's just how it goes sometimes.
Mike, how tough is it to enter pitch count this week, whatever it is, to enter your first playoff game 3-3 in the 8th and man on? Is that kind of more tough than normal?
It's a tough situation, but that's the kind of situations I want to be in. I prepare for that, and it just didn't go my way this time.
Do you guys have to kind of find the silver lining that you're still in a good position, going home, try to find some positives after tonight?
Yeah, we came here, we got 1 of 2. I think we're sitting good, going back home, and again, you just got to keep playing good baseball for as many innings as you can, and the results will be there, I think, so if we do that. So we can't worry too much about this loss or how we lost. The loss is still a loss either way you look at it, so we just got to get back out there Monday.
Sorry if you would answer.
The pitch to Zimmerman, just the at-bat, walk us through their attack in the corner.
Yeah, we got ahead with a changeup and then, pulled the second changeup, and he was able, to get the barrel to it. And, the ball was flying out to left field today, so, just enough to get it out.
You could see, I guess even from the bullpen, you could see Harper with his at-bat against Lester almost getting there. John made some great pitches on him to get him out, but it seemed like, it's inevitable that a great hitter like that's going to catch up with something eventually.
Yeah, they got a lot of good hitters in their lineup, so, you know, you have to really make good pitches. You know, they will hit the mistakes, and we know that. You know, we feel confident, you know, in our ability to execute. And you know, if you execute, you're going to get results. If you don't, you know, they're gonna get you. And that's kind of baseball, and that's how it goes. So that's, you know, the fun part of it, and it's just about executing as many times as you can.
All right, there you go, Mike Montgomery. So again, he hung a pitch. He threw a pitch that he wanted to get the ground ball, to get the double play, to get the inning over. It's a little too much.
Yeah, it was 0-1. That's the pitch he likes to go with, 0-1. Change up down, to have the hitter hit on top of it, ground it to Addy, double play. He just left it up right down the middle. Sometimes, as these playoffs are going on, you're seeing these situations where pitchers are trying to do too much. You try and be too sharp with your pitch. Next you know, it's right over the plate. And these hitters are there for a reason. These guys don't miss. If you put something over the plate, that ball is going to get hit.
And it got crushed, just like Bryce Harper. All right, time for a break here on our Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. More to do. We'll be right back.
Cubs Post-Game Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Over the last 40 years, you've come to run, bringing your passion, your determination, 40,000 strong, filling streets on an inspiring journey through 29 Chicago neighborhoods, pushed on by millions of cheering fans and countless volunteers, making Chicago home to the best marathon in the world. Celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon this Sunday at 7 a.m. on NBC5.
The obesity amongst kids is very widespread. Some of these babies, they can't even run. It is heartbreaking to me.
Sugared soda is contributing to an epidemic of childhood obesity and diabetes.
These kids are facing adult problems. Around the church, you ought to see the dialysis centers that are popping up. The soda companies are targeting these kids, and we need to protect them. I can minister to these kids, but I can't cure them. The soda pop tax is the right thing to do.
It's a scary time of year. Just wait until you get your heating bill. Call Feldco to replace your drafty old windows.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Right now at Feldco, get 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest until 2019.
2 windows for the price of 1 and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Time now for our Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? Well, who's hot? How about Francisco Lindor? Grand slam against the Yanks. Cut the deficit to 8-7. They win on a walk-off hit by Yan Gomes in extra innings. Who's not? Taijuan Walker. You called that before the start. He went, I don't like this matchup for Taijuan Walker. He was awful. 1 inning pitch, 4 hits, 4 earned, 3 Ks, 2 walks. He had 38 pitches to get his first out. Dodgers win 9-5. They play game 2 later tonight. All right, welcome back to Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Our UPS store taking care of business. Player of the game, we're going John Lester. He was excellent tonight. 6 excellent innings and pitched out of the one real jam that he got into, and that was in the 5th.
Yeah, he pitched most of this game with his fastball. His command was there. It's back. So the Cubs that's something that you have going for you whenever his next start is going to be. But, you know, he looked really good. This is his bounce back game. This is the postseason. This is the time when he steps up. And this was a great start, an encouraging start for the Cubs. And he didn't really even need his off speed. His precision was that good today.
Yeah, he really did a nice job. There's the shift. Addie's right there to make the play on Harper. They held them all in check. The exception of the Rendon home run, the solo in the first the other way until that 8th inning. But, oh boy, you would love to have gotten one more inning out of John Lester, but Joe Madden said he was done after 6.
That 5th inning.
That 5th inning made it really fatiguing, but then he rolled through the 6th. And you're like, I said to you, maybe you get one more inning.
Yeah.
But Joe chose to go to Strop, and it wasn't the wrong move. Strop got it done.
Because he went in the 6th, he went, what, 3, 4, 5? 1, 2, 3 order right there. So he felt confident, yeah, he can go one more, but that 5th inning took a lot out of him. He had to make some big pitches and a lot of motion in that 5th.
That's what a pro does right there. 258 Ernie and 139 and 2/3 innings of postseason baseball. Just 109 hits, 119 strikeouts to just 33 walks, 15 home runs. Our 9th pitcher with 20-plus postseason start in Major League history.
That's it. The numbers speaks for themselves with him. This guy is a Hall of Famer, no doubter, and he knows how to pitch in big games, and he showed you today that he still has it. That's for sure.
All right, let's take a listen in to Anthony Rizzo in the locker room.
Complexion of the series.
Oh yeah, I mean, they put a good run there in the 8th and came up short, but played hard. John pitched really well. You know, we put good at bats together, and you know, he just didn't win today.
You know, when we talked with Carl, he goes, right pitch, just hung it, you know, and he stood up proud and said, you know, we move on. And it seems like that's the culture in this locker room.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, we got a day off tomorrow to relax and watch some football, and right back at it on Monday. And to go home to Wrigley where we played extremely well, and we're excited about that, to get back there and play playoff baseball at Wrigley Field again. So tomorrow will be nice, and we'll get back at it Monday.
You know, watching Bryce against John, you could see that he's kind of getting close. John made some great pitches on him to eventually get him out, but you know, a great play like that eventually is going to get around to his swing.
I mean, yeah, he's a good player. He's you know, he could hit any pitch out anywhere in the ballpark, so he put a good swing on the ball, and you know, you tip your hat, and same as Zimmerman.
We talk so much about experience playing into the confidence of this group, but how important is that now with a 1-1 series, now best of 3 heading home?
I mean, we got to win 2 more games. Doesn't matter how we do it. Doesn't matter the scenario. So it starts Monday again. I think in this group with this experience, like you guys say, you know, nothing's really going to faze us. Giving up way bigger home runs than that before.
You obviously, you set some playoff franchise records, which I know doesn't mean anything, of course, right now, but are you feeling as good as you probably felt at a play right now? And Chris was just singing your praises, and you're just seeing everything right now.
I mean, it's baseball. It's you get good days and bad days. You hit the ball at someone one day and you don't the next. So you're just taking a stride.
Dustin stepped before the game. Scherzer wasn't sure about how long he can go. I mean, he's not there at the beach, but I mean, it's the same strategy. Just try to jack up his pitch count on Monday.
Is he pitching on Monday? Yeah. That's for sure.
No, actually.
Oh, we don't?
No. Yeah, and that's what they said.
You know, he's going to be adrenaline, Wrigley Field. He's going to be ready to go. He's pitch count. There's Max Scherzer. You know, he'll let them know his pitch count.
Surprised when you saw it. I could see a shot of you in the dugout after your home. You're like, wait, someone reached over that? Were you like surprised that they were reviewing it?
A little bit. I mean, I saw it go over pretty clean. You know, you get that railing up there, but you got to be sure here. This is the playoffs. You can't, you know, take any play for granted. So I see them.
You guys get out of here with the win you wanted to get coming in, but how dramatic was just the change in the feeling or the emotions out there? Harper hits a home run and a couple batters later, they take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's baseball. It doesn't really. You're not going to knock us down. You know, we gave up a home run to Rajay Davis to tie the game in the 9th inning, the 8th inning. So, you know, it's part of the journey. It's you gotta embrace it. It's obviously not a good feeling to lose, but the way we did, but it's part of it. It's part of the experience.
Was there a class case of emotion out there again?
No, I think I'll try to keep it all in check this time.
Here, one could say that, you know, so far with runners and scoring, have you done anything different, tried anything different? I mean, in just these last 2 games, you've just been very good. How about that? I know you're always focused on it, but...
Just taking it in stride. I know my job's driving runs. I've done it for a few years now, so just take it in stride.
All right, there's a pro.
Yeah.
He knows, hey, just take it in stride. You're ready to go on Monday. Take a look at the Elk Grove Village pitching recap. John Lester, Gio Gonzalez. John a little bit better tonight. 2 hits, 1 earned, the Rendon homer, 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. He threw 86 pitches. Gio, that was over 6 innings. Gio Gonzalez, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned, the 2-run jack to Rizzo. And look, he's a very competent, quality pitcher. Cubs got to him a little bit today.
Yes, early on he was pitching really well with that curveball, changeup, fastball combination. The second time through, the Cubs hitters changed their plan. They were making him work a little more. His off-season wasn't as sharp, and they took advantage of it. But we've been watching some really good starting pitching these first 2 games. So now it's going to come down to the bullpen. Can the Cubs bullpen bounce back from this? You know, it's a little hit in their armor there. Can they bounce back? And now the Nationals have a little momentum on their side right now. It's going to be a fun little series back in Wrigley.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's got to get good starting pitching out of Jose Quintana.
Yep.
That's what you need, and then hopefully Jake Arrieta, and you will walk away with a series win. We'll see. Let's go back to the locker room. Here's John Lester.
It matters when you do it to yourself. That's the hard part. So we played a good game. They played a good game, and you know, really 2 pitches in the grand scheme of tonight really hurt us. So move on to you know, we got a little workout tomorrow. And move on to Monday.
You played a good game yourself. How did you feel out there tonight?
I felt good. You know, at the end all, we lost the game, so it doesn't really matter how I felt.
You had a really great battle with Harper. You can see things come around. You kind of won that one, but I guess you can't always hold down great hitters when, you know, in big situations.
I mean, I think the pitcher always kind of prevails for the most part. You know, we know what we're throwing and they don't, and you know, they have to put good swings on the ball. So you know, CJ just hung the curveball just a little bit too much for him. And he's a good hitter, and that's what good hitters do. But I'll take CJ in that situation. You know, 10 out of 10 times, and I like our chances in the end.
Is it important for CJ and Montgomery to feel the support in this room, knowing
if they don't feel any support in this room, then something's wrong? You know, we all got their backs. You know, hell, we've all been there. Whether it's starting pitcher or bullpen guy or whatever, it doesn't matter. We've all been there. We've all given up big hits. We've all given up big homers. It doesn't. I mean, hell, turn the page. It'll be fine. We all got each other's back. We've been playing for what, 8 months together, and you know, those two have been here for a couple years. If they don't know we have their back, then like I said, something's wrong. So hopefully the situation arises and on Monday, and they go right back out there and dominate.
Two great ball games in 2 days. No reason to think this won't be that type of series all the way, is there?
Well, I don't think anybody in this room expected anything else. They're a good team. They've played well all year. They got a great pitching staff, and their bullpen's doing a hell of a job for them. So we know we knew what the task at hand was coming in, and you know, we knew it was going to be a battle. So, you know, like I said, we'll show up Monday and see what happens. Get in front of our home crowd and feel good about ourselves. And you know, I think the big thing is get back to Chicago. That'll make everybody feel better.
John, what's some of the most emotional we've seen out of you? I mean, just getting out of the base loaded jam there. Is it just a good feeling at this point for where you want to be, obviously, and how you wanted to go out and finish things?
I mean, I think that particular moment, I kind of lost feel for the strike zone, and you know, put our team in a situation that wasn't ideal. So. You know, I knew I was one pitch away. I just couldn't make that one pitch. I couldn't get that one pitch to either for them to put it in play or you know, for a swing and miss or whatever we needed at that particular time. So that that was just a big moment for us. That was a big moment in that game. I mean, Turner gets a knock, it ties the game. So to get out of there with nothing after I put myself and our team in that situation, that was huge, a big turning point. You keep the momentum, especially at home for them. You keep the momentum away from them and back in our dugout, and we were able to do that.
You were cruising to that point. Did you handle the stretch very off at all or anything like that?
I mean, I don't know. I think we always, pitchers and starting pitchers, you have moments where you kind of lose feel for the strike zone. I don't know why. If I knew why situations like that wouldn't happen, but just for whatever reason, just lost feel for the strike zone. They kind of put me on the defensive as opposed to the first 4 innings where we were attacking them and putting them on the defensive. So, that was kind of that inning where they had a chance, and we were able to get out of there without anything. And like I said, kind of a big moment for us.
You guys, like you said, expected this series. The split is pretty good coming out of here. Just how stunning was that 8th inning, the way you guys have been cruising for 17 straight innings against
I mean, I think if it was kind of somebody coming off the bench, like a Lind hitting the 2-run homer, kind of somebody I don't want to say you don't expect, because I don't want to take anything away from him. He's a really good hitter. Had a great at-bat against CJ to get that whole inning going. But, when you have the meat of their order coming up, Bryce and Rendon and Zimmerman and Murphy, they're good hitters. They're good hitters. I mean, you make enough mistakes, they're going to hit one. And, he did that tonight. Like I said, hopefully the situation arises, we can get CJ and Monty right back in that situation and, kind of get that monkey off their back, per se.
There's some question about. All right, time for our Jim Beam winning box score, and this one belongs to the Washington Nationals. Turner, again, not much at the top of the lineup, 0 for 4. Bryce Harper, though, that one big swing, a 2-run home run that tied the ball game. Rendon had a solo jack. Daniel Murphy relatively quiet, a 1 for 4, but was aboard for the Ryan Zimmerman 3-run bomb, and that was the difference in this game. He won it with that 3-run jack after the Harper tying home run, and then nothing out of Worth, Wieters, Taylor, or the pitcher's spot.
Yeah, they rely on their 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters, and that's who did the job tonight. So it's going to be a fun series, man. This is coming down to the best of 3 now. So now it goes to Quintana. This is his first start in the postseason. We're going to see how he bounces back, because the first 2 starters for the Cubs have looked really good so far.
Yep, need Quintana to go out and be a Mercedes, baby. Be elite. We got to take a timeout. We'll come back. We've got more to do. We'll go over the keys and get you set for Monday's game and tell you about the time of the ball game. It's all coming up. It's our post-game show presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, thousands of barrels lay silent. But that doesn't mean they lay idle. In fact, inside each and every Jim Beam barrel, the bourbon is aging, building a fuller, smoother flavor that only comes from being aged 4 long years. At Jim Beam, our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Now, legendary BMW performance for less than you think when you buy or lease a certified pre-owned BMW at Canals BMW. With special offers on a great selection of BMW models, each one passing a rigorous certification process and backed by a protection plan for ultimate peace of mind. Our certified pre-owned BMW sales event is here at Canals BMW, Route 41, Lake Bluff.
Everyone loves a dinner party until it's time for the cleanup. With the Bosch dishwasher, you'll make short work of even the largest piles of post-party dishes. With the innovative My Way rack, which offers the industry's largest third rack capacity without losing space on the lower racks, lets you get more dishes cleaned per load. And Bosch is America's quietest dishwasher brand, so you won't even know it's running in the background. See the complete lineup of Bosch dishwashers at Abt, pleasing people since 1936.
The obesity amongst kids is very widespread. Some of these babies, they can't even run. It is heartbreaking to me.
Sugared soda is contributing to an epidemic of childhood obesity and diabetes.
These kids are facing adult problems. Around the church, you ought to see the dialysis centers that are popping up. The soda companies are targeting these kids, and we need to protect them. I can minister to these kids, but I can't cure them. The soda pop tax is the right thing to do.
Your official Rolex jeweler is James & Sons in Chicago, Orland Park, and Cherville.
This is more than a bundle. This is more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home court. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. It's why I'm here.
Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
In 1975, we brewed the original light beer with more taste and only 96 calories. We think that's worth celebrating. Miller Lite, back in the original bottle.
Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card. I've got one, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. All right, Terry Cortez, time for our James & Sons Fine Jewelers Fielding Gem. We're going to give it to this play right here. You know who we should have given it to? The larger gentleman who made the one-handed catch out in the outfield on the Rizzo homer.
That's a for sure. One-handed with his phone in his other hand, man, that's a play of the day.
Well, that's a play of the day.
I mean, that's an easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a major league shortstop.
Yeah.
Come on. We got to get the larger gentleman in the Cubs jersey.
Look at this play.
Watch this play.
Oh, wait.
That's a one-hand catch. A one-hand grab of an Anthony Rizzo home run. That is your
Look at that.
James & Sons Fine Jewelers Fielding Gem.
Yes.
And then people are coming down going, hey, can I take a picture with you?
You caught Rizzo's home run. I know how to take a pic with you.
That was awesome. So good for that guy. He is now the new Nacho Man. Remember Nacho Man in the Cardinal game?
Yeah, that guy was awesome.
Look at this. Here's Nacho Man.
Oh, here it is.
We got our own Nacho Man now in a Cubs jersey. Boom, there go the nachos.
There he was. He was signing autographs on cartons.
And then Addison brings him a new order of nachos, and they go, hey, man, can we take a selfie with you? And Russell says, sure, let's do it. Get it out, get the picture.
There it is.
I think that is absolutely awesome.
He changed his Twitter feed name to Nacho Man.
Nacho Man. At Nacho Man. Pretty funny. All right, let's look back at David's keys for the pregame show. Sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Look, rattle Gio, they did that.
You scored 4 runs in the first 3 runs in the first 4 innings. So you got to him the second time through. He wasn't the same Gio as the first time through.
No.
You got him out in 5. And you did your job against Gio Gonzalez.
And then fastball command for John Lester. He was awesome.
It was phenomenal, putting it where he wanted to. That was the start that the Cubs wanted to see from him. He made the progression. He went from 1 inning looking okay to his last start before the postseason started. That was better. That was a great start tonight. So you're hopeful that if he gets the chance again to pitch, he's going to be on.
Right, you're hoping he either goes in game 1 of the CS.
Yeah.
Or game 5 if they choose to go that way. I would think, based on Kyle Hendricks' pitch, he'll go in game 5, but we'll see. Game 3 Monday at Wrigley. Max Scherzer is the scheduled starter against Jose Quintana. You look at the numbers, and Scherzer was awesome. 31 starts. He was 16-6 with a 251. Another 200-inning season. 268 Ks to 55 walks and a whip filthy of .90, 0.90. Jose Quintana, much better his last 6-8 starts. Last 5, ERA at 2.14. Last 4, an ERA in the ones.
Yeah, and toward the end of the season, he had to pitch meaningful games. That Brewers game that he pitched a gem in, 9-inning complete game, just he dominated those Brewers. So he's pitched big games going into the playoffs. So hopefully that translates into his first start of the postseason.
Yep, this will be the first high leverage. I'm talking high leverage.
Yeah.
The Brewers, the Cardinals, they're all important.
Yeah.
This is the big boys.
This is not regular season.
No. Step up and get it done. Here's the results of our fan poll here at NBC Sports Chicago. Take a look at the number. 56% of you are disappointed. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand where the voting's coming from. Yeah. If I'd have said to you before the series started, Nationals are favored, and pretty heavily. Yeah. You're going home 1-1. You go, okay, I'll take that. The way it transpired, I'm with those people. Disappointed, man. Bullpen's got to do a better job.
1 inning away. You're one inning away from having a 2-0 lead, but looking back on it, just have a different perspective. Going into it, you'd be 1-1 leaving National Park. You'd take that for sure.
You would have. Not the way it transpired, but you would have. All right, there you go. Thank you for watching our Cubs post-game live show presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. David and I and Ryan Dempster will be together for pregame on Monday from the Brick House overlooking the park at Wrigley. So if you're coming on out, come out and see us. And here's our brand new Nacho Man. Now, I don't know if he'll be there.
We got to find a name
We'll
for
be
him.
there. So come on out. We'll be on the deck overlooking the park at Wrigley at the Brick House with Demp. And then David and I back for the post-game show from that same location on Monday, and the same deal on Tuesday. You have a great rest of your weekend. Mitchell Trubisky, you get some rest too, buddy. You got a big Monday coming as well. We'll see you on Monday.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, thousands of barrels lay silent. But that doesn't mean they lay idle. In fact, inside each and every Jim Beam barrel, the bourbon is aging, building a fuller, smoother flavor that only comes from being aged 4 long years. At Jim Beam, our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
The obesity amongst kids is very widespread. Some of these babies, they can't even run. It is heartbreaking to me.
Sugared soda is contributing to an epidemic of childhood obesity and diabetes.
These kids are facing adult problems. Around the church, you ought to see the dialysis centers that are popping up. The soda companies are targeting these kids, and we need to protect them. I can minister to these kids, but I can't cure them. The soda pop tax is the right thing to do.
Living in this crazy world, so caught up in the confusion, nothing is making sense for me and you. Maybe we can find a way, there's got to be solution, how to make a brighter day. What do we do? We've got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more, harder than before.
Get cash in a flash, all while saving lives by donating plasma today at BioBlood Components. Low on cash? Short on time? You can earn up to $400 a month by donating plasma twice a week. The staff at BioBlood Components is the best. They put your safety, comfort, and time ahead of the rest. Earn extra money today at one of our 3 convenient locations located in Gary, Hammond, or Griffith. It's safe, fast, and easy. Donate plasma today at BioBlood Components.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Pro Football Weekly as we get you ready for Week 5 of the NFL. Mike Simon with the coach, Dave Wanstead, the